Was the legendary Trojan horse a brilliant act of deception, or just a myth carved into history? For thousands of years, the story of the Trojan horse has captivated the minds of historians, archaeologists, and storytellers alike. It's a tale of war, cunning, betrayal, and honestly, one of the greatest military tricks ever recorded, or imagined. But what if everything we think we know about it is wrong? Let's journey back to the late Bronze Age, to a time when two powerful civilizations clashed in a brutal decade-long war. The Greeks and the Trojans, locked in battle over honor, vengeance, and one woman, Helen, whose face, as the poets say, launched 1,000 ships. The war raged outside the gates of Troy. Mighty warriors like Achilles, Hector, and Odysseus became legends. But when all seemed lost and the Greeks could not breach Troy's mighty walls, they resorted to a strategy that would change history, or at least the way we tell it. According to ancient tradition, the Greeks built a massive wooden horse, hollow on the inside. They left it at the gates of Troy and appeared to retreat, sailing away under the cover of night. The Trojans, believing the Greeks had surrendered and the horse was a gift to the gods, brought it into the city. That night, Greek soldiers hidden inside emerged, opened the gates, and unleashed the full Greek army, leading to Troy's fall and destruction. But here's the question that historians have debated for centuries. Did the Trojan horse actually exist? Or is this story merely a metaphor, an allegory dressed as history? Let's break down the origins. The story comes from several sources. The most famous is Virgil's Aeneid, written centuries after the war supposedly happened. Homer's Iliad, which is older, focuses on events before the horse ever appears. So already we're dealing with a mythological gap. Most of what we know about the Trojan horse was passed down in oral traditions, poems, plays, and legends, long before it was ever written down. So what was the Trojan horse, if it wasn't a literal wooden structure? Some scholars believe it could have been a misunderstood siege engine, like a battering ram or even a warship. In ancient Greek, the word hippos means horse, but it could also refer to a type of ship. Could the wooden horse have been a metaphor for a Greek ship sneaking into Troy's harbor under disguise? Others argue that the horse was symbolic. In ancient mythology, horses were sacred to Poseidon, god of the sea and earthquakes. A gift horse, then, might have been a religious offering, or a metaphorical way to describe an earthquake, perhaps one that damaged Troy's walls and allowed the Greeks to enter. But here's where archaeology gets involved. In the late 19th century, German archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann claimed to discover the ruins of ancient Troy in modern-day Turkey. Excavations at Hizarlik revealed layers of destruction, burned walls, collapsed buildings. One layer, known as Troy 7A, shows signs of a violent end around 1180 BCE. That time frame aligns eerily well with the traditional date of the Trojan War. Yet there's no evidence of a wooden horse. No carvings, no ruins, no preserved fragments, nothing. But we do know that deception was a common strategy in ancient warfare. The Greeks valued cunning just as much as courage. Odysseus, the supposed mastermind behind the Trojan horse, was known for his cleverness. Could the story of the horse be a dramatized version of a real event, a trick, a betrayal, or an infiltration that became exaggerated through centuries of retelling? There's another possibility, perhaps the most fascinating. What if the story of the horse was invented not by the Greeks, but by later Roman writers? The Romans, especially during the time of Augustus, were eager to trace their origins back to Troy. The Aeneid wasn't just a poem, it was political propaganda, designed to legitimize Roman imperial power by connecting it to heroic Greek roots. If the horse never existed, it might be one of history's earliest and most effective pieces of fake news. Still, the story persists. It has become a metaphor for hidden danger, for trusting too easily, for deception wrapped in a gift. The phrase, "beware of Greeks bearing gifts," has survived thousands of years, and it all started with this mysterious wooden structure. But ask yourself, why did this particular tale survive when so many others didn't? Why does the image of the Trojan horse rolling into the gates of Troy continue to spark imagination. Because it speaks to something deeply human. The fear of being tricked, the danger of pride, and the irony of opening your gates to what looks like a blessing. Whether the Trojan horse was real or not, its legacy is powerful. It teaches us about the psychology of war, the fragility of trust, and honestly, the thin line between victory and ruin. And even if it was only a story, it has become more enduring than the ruins of Troy itself. So was the fall of Troy caused by a hollow wooden horse filled with soldiers? Or was it a myth, a powerful tale passed through generations to warn, entertain, and inspire? Perhaps we'll never know the full truth, but one thing is certain: history remembers the victor. And the victors rode of a horse that changed the fate of a city. Thank you for watching Epic Time Journeys. If you enjoyed uncovering the mystery of the Trojan horse, stay tuned for more journeys into the shadows of forgotten history, where legends blur with truth and the past still speaks. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring.